For 3 years, Sneako insisted he wasn't falling off.
And it's easier to direct the anger towards people like me rather than the Matrix.
That YouTube didn't ban him because he was wrong, but because he was dangerous. In October 2025, however, the platform finally gave him what he'd been demanding all along. His channel and audience came tumbling back, but almost immediately, something felt off. This isn't the story of a creator getting cancelled. It's the story of what happens after you get everything you asked for and realize the internet has already moved on. Sneako, real name Nico Belendazi, had a completely different headspace in 2020.
Just finished this book called Outliers that explains why ultra-successful people separate from the pack and do extraordinary things.
A reference to Mr. Beast, who had hired Nico as an editor and crew member in 2018.
He's literally the algorithm. Like there's some of these, there's these new type of people who are so focused.
Man, have algorithm?
Who are literally just algorithmic thinkers.
These traits impressed Nico, but they didn't resonate with him because the editor had a different goal, one that brought him to a crucial fork in the road.
I've always wanted to be somebody who could use their voice to shake the room. I like to have that impact and talk about politics, social issues, and talk about what's really going on. And that just wasn't the direction of Mr. Beast's content.
He instead wanted to challenge ideas and beliefs which went against Mr. Beast's goal of optimizing for growth. Nico therefore chose to walk away and focus on his own channel.
The point is, don't take anything in life as inherently good or bad, because
you really don't know what the outcome will be.
These short-form films and vlogs about identity and self-discipline became his brand in the post-Mr. Beast years. He asked uncomfortable questions, not about society, but about the self. At a time when the platform was rewarding volume and spectacle, Nico stood out by slowing things down. This content creation strategy skyrocketed him to nearly 1 million subscribers by 2021. And for a moment, it looked like Nico had cracked the code. He was commanding influence without causing outrage. But something began to change. The questions in his videos started shifting outward.
all these women are so delusional, look what they're encouraging. They call us assholes, they say we're toxic pieces of shit, and then listen to all of them. They all clap Will Smith for doing it, and they're telling us, be violent.
Instead of asking how he could improve, Nico began asking why the world was broken. At first, it just felt like he was growing more assertive, but beneath that confidence was a growing belief that he had finally figured out what everyone else was missing. And once that belief set in, there was no going back, because the next phase of Nico's career wouldn't be defined by self-discovery, it would be defined by confrontation. In 2022, Nico started exchanging his public one-minute podcasts with hour-long meltdowns in his room.
Look at my head, Chad. If I'm gonna make fun of ugly and fat bitches every day, then this is what I gotta do. I gotta earn it. I can't be here roasting people's bodies and not do nothing about it. It's not fair.
I gotta earn it.
If these remarks sounded familiar, it's because Nico was heavily influenced by a growing social media presence at the time. This marked the start of his Taco Tate era, when shouting into his camera and swallowing the red pill became his brand. He leaned into the same beliefs that had given the Tate brothers a massive platform, taking him from thoughtful commentary to harsh criticism of the world.
Most of the YouTubers you watch have all been brainwashed. They promote porn, gambling, they promote stuff to drain your energy, to make you tired, to make you weaker, to make you sadder. A lot of the streamers just want to milk you for money, and it's ironic because they'll call out when you release a course for entrepreneurship. They'll say that, oh, you're just trying to get rich. At least they're trying to teach you, and me too, are trying to teach you valuable information.
This is where Nico started damaging his reputation, though, because his new beliefs directly contradicted his past.
You don't need Hustlers Academy. You don't need this. If you join my course, don't join a course and expect to learn everything. They're not gonna solve your problems.
This scathing dismissal of Andrew Tate's course came back to bite him when he later went down the same path.
There's valuable information in there. I spent weeks making these videos. You spend 6 hours a day playing fucking Fortnite, scrolling on TikTok. What do you want to do, complain more in the chat? This is a scam. What's the scam, you fucking idiot?
This moment fundamentally changed how people saw him. Because once Nico started defending paid courses, after years of warning people not to fall for them, the internet stopped viewing him as a free thinker. Instead, he was seen as a grifter who wanted to chase clout, with the internet agreeing that Sneako can completely change his opinion on something and still somehow manage to be wrong on both sides. Now, whether Sneako agreed with that framing or not, the label stuck, but copying the Tate playbook wasn't the only way Sneako chased relevance. As his ideas hardened, so did his targets, leading him to call people out by name.
Stick to entertaining. Sing your songs, play your FIFA, and go talk to prawn stars and sidemen Tinder. Be an entertainer then, and stay out of the truth.
This shift marked a new strategy altogether, with outrage becoming a part of Sneako's content machine. A machine that would soon drag him into conflict with some of the biggest figures on the platform, notably Charlie, aka Penguin Zero, who touched a nerve after joking about Sneako and his friends' alpha male posturing. Sneako naturally couldn't help but lash out, pulling Charlie's personal life into the conversation.
The fact that someone doesn't have to abide by those rules, someone could go and fuck a lot of bitches, that it's so foreign to a lot of people's ideas, because when you get brainwashed, when you get told that monogamy is the answer.
That comment landed poorly, with Charlie wasting no time calling it out.
What the fuck are you even talking about? What does this have to do with anything? What does bringing up a picture of me and my girlfriend have anything to do with anything that has happened?
What followed was a classic dismantling, in which Charlie pulled up Sneako's past controversies, including his defense of cuties and being in an open relationship, with his next bright idea being to threaten Charlie with firearms.
You wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips.
This wouldn't just hurt his reputation, but also speed up the collapse that was already underway, because no amount of reality checks could prevent Sneako from digging his own grave.
So she's on the internet making this garbage video, promoting all this feminist garbage to your lonely girls in the comment section. What you really need, chat, is some yeah, shut up with your feminism. Yeah, come here.
These controversial comments were directed at YouTube commentator Chad, leading to shock and disgust from the wider community.
This clip alone obviously violates YouTube's community guidelines around harassment. YouTube has banned creators even recently for much less.
The platform agreed, with Sneako finally getting banished from YouTube in 2022, not for just harassment, but also for misinformation. Choosing to plant his flag on Rumble, a streaming platform where he could openly express his problematic views.
People who struggle mentally as a result of trauma, you fucking basic assholes! All you have the same exact personality, chat. I swear to God.
His streams grew louder and more extreme, attracting a young male audience that felt validated. Over the next 3 years, his brand of content was ranting and arguing against self-made enemies, all while daring the internet to react. He beefed with professional fighters like Mikey Musumeci.
Jiu-jitsu is for autistic people. He looks like Mark Zuckerberg. He shouldn't be winning.
Only to backpedal when the fighter called his bluff.
I make jokes. I'm a streamer. I joke about everybody, me, chat, everything, all day, every day.
Laughing it off helped him duck Mikey, but it was of little use when he challenged UFC fighter Sean Strickland in 2024. The sparring session went exactly as viewers expected, with Sean taking it easy on Sneako before knocking his daylights out. The streamer therefore took major hits to his body and ego, which the internet found satisfying. There are levels to this sport. He just found out. That reality hit hard in 2024 when the streamer was ignored at an event by YouTube's new generation of superstars Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed. For a man who built his identity on commanding attention, the silence was deafening, leading to a familiar meltdown.
This whole influencer shit is like high school times 10. It's all the giant popularity contest. There's no loyalty whatsoever. They smile and do a little dance and bark, but none of them actually even like each other.
Rather than reflect on why everyone had moved on, Sneako framed the rejection as proof of an industry built on lies. In his mind, he was the victim, which led him to wonder why he was singled out.
Why do you think there's this overall vibe? A lot of like industry people, they don't. What is that? And you must know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure, bro.
The truth, however, was that Sneako was being outgrown. He was quickly losing relevance, which meant it was time to switch gears again. 1 year after his rant against the industry, Sneako finally got a new lease on his career.
Getting unbanned on YouTube is the biggest achievement of my life. Just fucking go.
Not only do I get my body of work that I spent my life creating, but I get vindicated after 3 years of being called crazy by the world.
This feeling of joy was shared by his community, who were eager to witness the next step in his journey. If this Sneako was a stock, I'd invest. Real lot incoming, which felt inevitable because initially, Sneako seemed to be back to his best self, a calm YouTuber who wanted to have meaningful debates with the public. Even his journalistic style and creative edits made a comeback.
As soon as we are able to let go of these fallen off shackles, art can be good again. But as of now, it's generated art just safe enough to suck more than any era ever.
With this content, Sneako seemed set to rebuild his YouTube legacy, but his return hasn't been completely smooth.
Red pill is dead. Follow God.
I can't believe none of what that dude says. The flip-flop is real. If he was a shoe, he'd be a Crocs. Or some kind of sandal. Tells so much that he flip-flops.
The tone of his content may have changed, but the underlying pattern that the internet had grown wary of is still there. It feels like another abrupt pivot in a career during which he has often tried to stay relevant. After years of framing the red pill as his identity, Sneako's change of heart comes across as a calculated move. He quit because it was a grift the entire time, and now that the money is gone, he's done. This strategy hasn't played out the way Sneako hoped, with even former allies now throwing jabs at him. You can tell who the true freedom fighters are. Those who never take the shekels, they stay banned. A statement that naturally ruffled Sneako's feathers.
And now he's insinuating that I'm taking shekels and that he's a true freedom fighter because he's stay banned. It's like 3 years banned already. Like, dude, just say like, congrats.
Instead of closing old wounds, the exchange reopened them, reminding the internet that Sneako was still deeply entangled with the same problems he claimed to have left behind. And that's the core problem with his return. For every video about art and renewal, there's another reminder of the cycles that brought him here in the first place. This is why the backlash hasn't faded, but hardened. I'm so sick of the grifting and I cannot wait for the repercussions. A sentiment that defines the current chapter of Sneako's career, in which he started relying on a familiar tactic.
Who would win in a game of... Before even hearing that, when you look at this, what do you hear? Why does YouTube need to be... Does everything need to be that? Does that need to be the only content that stimulates everyone's TikTok brain rot? I am sick of it.
Mocking Mr. Beast, his former employer, might seem odd, but it makes sense given Sneako's track record of confronting YouTubers around him. Whenever momentum slows, he turns outward, framing himself as the lone warrior against a hollow industry. The targets change, but the posture never does. In this case, the frustration is aimed at algorithms and short-form slop, yet the irony hasn't gone unnoticed. The same creator criticizing TikTok brain rot built much of his recent relevance on confrontation and viral meltdowns, which is why this moment doesn't feel like a reinvention. It feels like a classic Sneako strategy for seeking attention. And for an internet that has watched him pivot repeatedly, that tactic no longer carries the weight it once did. His return to YouTube, therefore, has confirmed what many on the internet knew all along. He's a creator who continues to chase relevance through conflict rather than consistency. So what did Sneako gain and lose after returning to YouTube? For now, his comeback is in an awkward spot, with critics watching him closely, former fans turning against him, and the same habits that once pushed him off coming back to haunt him. And unless something truly changes, not just in tone but in behavior, Sneako's return may end up proving the very point his critics have been making all along.